Hello and welcome along to another CrowdProperty.com funding opportunity. And today we're going to be returning to Marriott Road in Hinton St George, which is Somerset TA17 8SL. And this is the Phase 5 raise. Now, CrowdProperty is a peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under permission number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loans you make, and just like all peer-to-peer lending, your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders, and this is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. Now, this project is owned by Strawberry Property Limited. Their company number is 088999542. And the owners and directors of the company are Tim and Claire Percival, both holding 50% shareholdings. And I'm delighted to say that Tim is able to join us on this webinar today. Start off, Tim, by telling us a little bit about your background and Claire's and how you came to find this project.
Hi Andy. Yeah, we started the business about in 2014. Actually, we're both full-time GPs beforehand and got a bit disillusioned with all the stress of doing that. So set up the property business. And now, having built up a big portfolio on smaller projects, we spend sort of 90% of our time on that and 10% now doing a bit of general practice. We have undertaken, well over 20 renovations, generally sort of dilapidated properties, and doing them up into high-end co-living homes for the professional market up in Bristol. But they're usually pretty significant renovations. And then we had I inherited a plot of land in the village I grew up, which is Hinton, from my mother when she died in 2014. And she tried to get planning in the past and never succeeded. And we thought, well, let's try again. Let's take this on. And so we took this 1 acre plot of land, which is in a perfect position, and decided to take it forward again and managed to secure planning at the end of 2017 on this one. So we have this project. We're also landlords in Bristol, and we've got a property management and maintenance business there, which employs 5 staff managing over 100 tenants up there. So we got the team together and went forward with this one.
And as well as talking through this project, Tim, I've got some case studies later to share as some of the past work that you've done as well. Also joining us on this webinar are some of the project consultants, and the project manager is Steve James. Welcome along, Steve. Tell us a little bit about you and how you helped this project.
So we've been working with Tim on this for the last, since we got planning really, helping him with, say, as project manager, we went through the tender process, which ended up being a lengthy process due to the previous project managers that went out to the wrong tender, so the wrong contractors. And then obviously we're working very closely with the new contractor, which is Luke at William Abbott, and that's going really well at the minute.
And you're talking there about William Abbott Developments Limited, the contractor. Luke also joins us on this webinar from that development company. And Luke, in fact, in his own right, is well known to CrowdProperty because he's borrowed and repaid a loan that he's done previously. Welcome along, Luke. Tell us a little bit more about your background.
Hi, Andy. Obviously, I've used CrowdProperty back in the past. I started off as an electrician. Built up a contracting company doing my own projects and a few for other people over the years, and it's been a pleasure obviously lending from Crowd back in 2019, paying that one off, and working now with Tim and Steve on this project.
And the photo there on the screen shows the project that you did, Luke, back in 2019, St John Street in Bridgewater. How's that all going?
Project as a whole went really well. There's 16 rooms, plus we own the William Hill part now as well.
So let's move on then to this project and Marriott Road, Hinton St George. And this is the phase 5 of a multi-phase raise where CrowdProperty has agreed a total facility of £2.8 million. That's to develop a site in Hinton St George. Phases 1 to 4 totaled a combined sum of £1.775 million. They were raised in the last 9 months, and the developer is progressing the construction to a very strict programme and pre-start cash flow plan. The phase raise here we're talking about is for £450,000, and this will be used to cover the cost of the next stage of the building works. Lenders will receive interest at the rate of 8% per annum. It's going to be rolled up and paid upon exit, and the loan is contracted to end around about the 9th of March 2021. So the village of Hinton St George, it's an affluent South Somerset village, population there of around about 442 people according to 2011 census. It's 4 miles northwest of Crewkerne, 12 miles southwest of Yeovil and 17 miles southeast of Taunton. There's local railway station based there in Crewkerne, and that's the West of England main line, approximately 5 miles away, with trains going into Exeter and into London Waterloo as well. The site itself is just over 1 acre. It's a former agricultural land with private farmers' rights of way from the Marriott Road through to the site access at the rear field. And this construction started in September 2019, following lengthy aborted negotiations with third-party contractor, resulting in the borrower procuring the works directly via employing full-time project and site managers. Now, the works have now topped out with superstructure completed on most and 90% of the others, and the internal works are progressing well on 6 of the units. The planning consent was granted with the reference number 17/02545/FUL on the 19th of April 2018 by South Somerset Council, and that was permission granted for the building of 10 associated properties with car parking, landscaping, drainage details and all that kind of thing. And then a further application was put in with the reference 18/01345/S73, granted to vary internal layouts, the window positions, removal of carports and external alterations. But on completion, the development will provide 10 two-storey dwellings, some with attic extensions, with the anticipated GDV of £4.59 million. The build cost is estimated at £2.591 million, which includes a 3% contingency. And this project is first charge secured. The exit strategy is that the private homes will be sold, whilst the affordable will be refinanced, let out, and then held by the development team. This is the location of the particular site. Left-hand side, you can see the CrowdProperty flag pointing there to where it is, just outside of Yeovil, not too far from the M5 motorway linking the Midlands down to the southwest. On the right-hand side, you can see the rectangular shaped piece of land, which has got the properties laid out by way of a site plan. So here's then more about the village. Tim, you grew up here as a youngster. Tell us your thoughts about the village.
Yeah, I did grow up there, Andy, for many years, and that photo on the right there gives you a very good feel of it. It's almost like a Miss Marple mystery type village. It's got a lovely feel about it. The golden coloured stone, it comes from a hill called Ham Hill, literally about 5 miles away from where this is, hence the Ham Stone that it's called. It's beautiful. It's in what I call the River Cottage country part of the UK. The Dorset borders just south. This village can only be accessed by very small country lanes with passing places, so it's very extremely quiet. There's no traffic noise, you just hear bird song, and it's just a beautiful, tranquil place to be. And an interesting fact about it is it's got the highest age of living in the country, so people live the longest in that village than anywhere else in the UK, which is an interesting fact. It's got a beautiful pub there that's nationally award winning, and it's got a post office and a village shop, so it's got even a school as well, a primary school there. So it's a beautiful place, and it's got surrounding beautiful countryside, and it's got good links into the M5, which takes about 20 minutes to get to, and the 303 from London to the southwest is literally 5 minutes away.
Now, you're looking to build these great properties, and that's a computer-generated image on the right-hand side. Talk us through these properties that you're having built for you, and talk us through who you think may be buying them.
Yeah, so we've got, it was called affordable in the previous slide there. They are full. We wanted to give back to the village when we did this project, and we decided that 3 of the properties we were going to keep and hold and rent them back to the local villages, or at least people in the surrounding villages, because one of the worries by the village was that these houses would be bought, they're expensive houses and the young people wouldn't be able to stay. So There are the smallest of the 3 bedroom houses will be kept and they'll be rented out to local villagers. Then we've got there's 3 other 3 beds which are along the front of the site there, which range from 365 to 375 GDV, and then we've got 4 4-bedroom stroke 5-bedroom houses. 2 of the 4 bedrooms have a loft extension, which are the premium sort of country homes there. I think the estate agents are confident that a lot of this is going to come from people wanting their idyllic move to the countryside. I think with the recent pandemic, a lot of people are realizing they want to escape to the country. So they're thinking probably the 50, 60-year-old age group of people, but it could be anybody who wants to escape from the city. There's also a lot of interest from people in the local area. This village hasn't been developed in for many decades, so it's very unusual for there to be new build houses of this quality in this village. There's been a lot of interest from local people, but also they feel there's going to be a lot from the sort of London South East region who are going to want to move to the countryside.
Well, let's look inside of those properties and check out the floor plan. Steve, please talk us through what's going to be built here.
Yeah, so this is the aforementioned affordable properties. Let's say we've gone to the attic room to make them into a 3-bed. They are your typical starter homes, nice little garden to the rear as well. And then when you're actually in the rooms, now that they're actually getting these have been plastered out now, they actually do look. The rooms are actually a fair size as well. There's no boxiness to them, and they're going to be nice little family homes, which is really good.
And 3 of the bedrooms there look similar sizes. So as you say, are good family homes. Here's the plots 4 and 10. Talk us through these.
Yeah, so these are, as Tim mentioned again, these are the sort of the show homey, the masterpieces of the site. One's on the front of the site, which is going to be the show home, and one's more to the rear of the site, but behind 1, 2, and 3 as you look at them from the road. And these say with 1, 2, and 3, they've been clad in a nice local cedar cladding, and the rest of the properties have all got hamstone, but these have been taken a little bit further, where we've actually got a lot of cut ashlar stones on the coins around the windows. And say, again, nothing small about these houses, especially when you get up into the attic space and you're looking out over the back of those beautiful valley views that Tim mentioned also, and said they are going to be stunning houses.
And what I like about this one is the master bedroom also has that dressing room, which has a certain air of quality about it, doesn't it?
It is, and even when you're in that ensuite's bigger than most people's family bathrooms. So as I said, there isn't anything small about this house at all. And
then let's go next to plots 5 to 7.
These are the 3 that run along the front. We've removed the ashlar stone, which we mentioned on 4 and 10, and these have got some real nice local sourced oak timber headers that mix in really well with the hamstone. Internally, they're not quite as big as the other, say obviously 4 and 10, but quite a bit bigger than what you sort of get in 1, 2, and 3 in those 3 bedrooms. And they've all got, say, lovely fireplaces in them, apart from 1, 2, and 3. And that kitchen works really well. It's quite nice with the L-shaped, which originally was the utility room, but we adapted it to make the kitchen a better place for the family.
And then finally, plots 8 to 9. How does this one differ?
These are similar to 4 and 10, but with the removal of, obviously, we haven't got the attics in these, and we haven't got the detail on the ashlar stone. Personally, I prefer these as a personal thing. They've got cracking views out the back, and again, they are big houses, just without really the attic spaces is the main difference.
Well, the independent monitoring surveyor has recently been out to the property. Here's the construction status that they found. And Luke, I'd like to bring you in here, if that's okay. You are the developer on here. You're building it out. Talk us through what the independent monitoring surveyor had to say.
Yeah, so we commenced back in September. We've lost a little bit of time due to Corona, but we've managed to stay on site and really sort of keep going. We're just now pushing to get the show home complete. They've plastered the inside. with some material delays, but we've had enough plaster to get the show home done at the moment, and we're expecting a delivery any week now to get all of the plots completed. So we've done well on that and been quite lucky with deliveries. Plots 1 to 3, they're first fix, carpentry, plasterboard, and skimmed out 85%, just waiting for the last bit to finish the attic rooms. Plots 8 and 9 boarded ready, and plots 10 skimmed. Window boards and patio doors and screed to the floors are in. The stairs are in 6 of the plots now. The total spend now is 1.439 of what we've used, plus the ordering of the connections and the warranties. We're just about to have groundwork starting on site as well, so we're sort of getting back on track with where we need to be. Drainage connections have been done on the road. That was done just before the start of the year, and all the warranties have been inspected and we're up to date on that. We've just had a building control inspection remotely as well, which went really well.
Now I've got some photos to share here. On the right hand side, what are those 2 plots there? And I think got more to follow.
You look at the top ones, plots 1 to 3, that's a locally sourced cedar cladded property, the affordables. In the bottom photo you can see the chimney's completed. That's plot 9, which is the same as plot 8. I mean, they're ready now for the scaffolding to come down in the next couple of weeks. We've got the scaffolding coming down on those, ready for the groundworks. This photo, you're looking at the water tables and the Velux windows on plot 10. So that's all that's the cut hamstone water tables, which were local from Ham Hill, which is just up the road really. And then you're looking at the staircases as well. These 2 are the mirror plots 10 and 4. So you've got the roof going on now. On the left is plot 4. The dormers are on, so that's getting ready for the gables and the coverings in the next few weeks. The windows are ready to go in on that as well as soon as the coverings are on. Plot 10's, again, the scaffold's ready to come down on that. We're just going to put the rainwater goods on and then drop that ready for landscaping.
So they're progressing really well. I've got some computer generated images here showing how it will look when it's finished. And it obviously is very much in keeping with the local street scene as well, looking from different directions there. Quite a stunning development here that you're bringing on, Tim. What I wanted to share is a case study that Tim has worked on with his company CrowdProperty Limited. Talk us through your style, Tim, and what you've done here.
Yeah, so we go for the sort of ultra high end of the professional market in Bristol. There's a great professional market in Bristol. It's a thriving city. So we take as dilapidated properties as possible. Often terraced houses, like you can see in the top left photo there, and we totally transform. We completely rebuild them almost. All the heating's redone, the plumbing's redone, the roofs are redone, everything's completely redone, and so that they will last for a long period. And we create as innovative spaces for people. One of our calling sort of cards is the graffiti. Bristol's a graffiti central, probably of the world, you could argue. And we always get a local graffiti artist to come along and put something nice on the houses to give it some character, which has always gone down very well. So we built up a portfolio of around 20 of these properties now. And then with having this plot of land, we just want to take things to the next stage, really. We've done a lot of sort of moderate sized developments and wanted to do something a little bit bigger. And hence we've been over the story of how Hinton came to be.
And you talked there about artwork and the Banksy style properties that are in Bristol. And there is some of your graffiti, as you call it, on the end of your house there.
So yeah, they usually try to be pretty graffitis rather than the more eclectic ones, and each one's always got a strawberry in it somewhere. It can be very small. It's like a hidden strawberry for the name of the company. So we tried to do it like that. So that's on the side of our latest project. That's an 8-bed co-living property that we finished back at the end of last year. We've not done any more since because we've been focusing on Hinton. But yeah, we took a little 3-bed end of terrace property. We did a side 2-story extension, a rear 1-story, and then we uplifted the planning for a large HMO on that one and completed that in end of September 2019. So that one's done great for us. So we get a good cash flow from that. The ROI is not on there, but it's around a 30% ROI on that one. That took us a long time because we had a few issues with the legal work on that one. That's why it took nearly a year to complete, but it's now a great one, all fully functioning.
So returning then to this land at Merriott Road, Hinton St George, here's an overview of the project financials and the proposed loan. So this is the 5th phase of a multi-phase raise which totaled £2.8 million. Phase 1 of £455,000 was completed in August 2018. Phase 2 through to Phase 4, they were for £1.32 million to cover October 19 through to May 2020. This Phase 5 is for £450,000 and will cover the period from June through until August 2020. RICS have verified the site value at the start to be £750,000. They verified the total gross development value to be £4.59 million, and their estimated construction cost is £2.591 million. The remaining loan is drawn in stages upon receipt of the independent monitoring surveyor's reports, with June expected to be £200,000 and July £290,000. The total loan to GDV, excluding that interest, is 61%, and the amount owed at the exit based on the gross development value, including the rolled up interest, is 66.89%. The maximum loan period is until the 9th of March 2021. And this loan is targeted to start as soon as all the funds are collected, but no later than the 26th of June 2020. Remember, the exit strategy is to sell most of the properties except for those affordable homes. The lenders will all receive 8% per annum interest. It's paid and will be rolled up to pay you at the end of the project. And it's already secured with a first charge security against the development as already registered at the land registry. So the next steps then, please, are to make sure that you understand the loan, carry out your own due diligence on the project, and then decide how much you would like to lend. CrowdProperty.com is the place to be to pledge on launch, and then people successfully bidding will have the necessary anti-money laundering checks carried out, and then you'll be invited to send your funds to your own online e-wallet when it's called for, and you'll start earning interest on completion of the loan agreement. So this is the Phase 5 for £450,000, and this is for the land at Merriott Road, Hinton St George in Somerset, TA17 8SL. Thank you for watching this CrowdProperty.com webinar. We look forward to you joining us again soon for another funding opportunity here at CrowdProperty.com.